up with invocation. Lead us with the invocation.
Okay. All right. Dear Lord, we'd like to take time to give you thanks and give you praise for all you've done, making this possible. We ask that you bless us with your wisdom and guidance and the decisions that we're about to take here. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. Okay, we stand up for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right, members, have you had a time to look over minutes?
Yes, sir.
Do we have a motion?
I have a motion to accept the minutes.
There's a motion to accept minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? None? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any objection? Motion carries. All right, at this time, we go to our first case file, number 2025-14-V, open and public hearing to consider approval of the request by Aurora Ayala, owner, and Elisandro Ayala, applicant, from a variance from section 14-7-8D of the City of Odessa zoning ordinance to allow a carport at 0 setback instead of the required 5 feet side yard setback. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this site is currently zoned single-family 3 zoning district and is occupied by single-family residents. The property is surrounded by single-family residential development to the north, south, east, and west. The applicant is Alessandro and Aurora Ayala, and the purpose of the request is to obtain a variance to allow the construction of a 396 square foot, which is 18 by 22, carport to be built with a 0-foot side yard setback instead of the required 5 feet required setback. The applicant is requesting a variance from section 14-7-8 subsection D of the City of Odessa zoning ordinance. Staff does recommend denial. Sorry, I'm going to go through these first before I get to that. Okay, yeah, staff recommends denial of the applicant's request for a 0-foot side yard setback. Instead, staff proposes reducing the length of the carport from 22 to 17 feet to comply with the 5 feet side yard setback. Should the board choose to approve this request, the planning staff would recommend adoption with the following conditions: that no other structures or additions may be placed within the 5 feet setback. That the carport shall not be enclosed in the future, that the eave of the carport shall be kept entirely within the property line, and that no additional structures, additions, or modifications may be made to the structure or property without first contacting the building inspections department, obtaining a building permit, and scheduling the required inspections. With that, I'm here if you have any questions.
Can I see those pictures?
Yes. Is there a particular view you would like to see?
Where is the carport going to be placed?
Okay, let's.
There was one, I noticed a car.
Is it right here? Okay.
So where that vehicle is currently backed in is where it would be?
Yes, sir.
And that is considered the side of the house or the side of the house, correct?
Yes, sir.
So what's that street on the side?
It's right here. It's
McArthur.
Merle.
I can show you.
It's,
Here's the site
what's the name of the street though?
plan. MacArthur.
MacArthur.
Yes, sir.
And the length of the
Okay.
carport would be flush with the cinder block fence?
Yes.
So would that be up to the sidewalk, or would it be just before the sidewalk?
It would be, it looks like just behind the sidewalk, is the right of way there is 5 feet and the sidewalk's probably 4 feet wide.
The right of way is 10 feet in the application.
Oh, it's 10 feet, okay.
Yes. So, I went out there and measured, from the building, where's that other picture where the truck is? There. So from the building to the street, it's 32 feet. I did confirm with right-of-way that there is a 10-foot right-of-way in that area. So he is If he were to do a 0 setback, it would be 22 feet in length. The width is fine, however, it would have 22 feet in length. There is a 5-foot rear setback that he would have to abide by as well. But like I said, if the length were to go 22 feet, it would be 0. I do recommend the 5-foot side yard setback instead of the 0 to make that length 17 feet.
So you're saying a rear setback, is that 5 feet from the actual structure that's there to the carport?
It's from the corner of, let me see, do you see that cinder block fence? Yes, so that cinder block fence, that's considered the rear of the
Okay.
property. Because this property, normally when we look at the lot, the smallest width is the front yard, which would be the other side going to the front of the property? On 15th Street. So the smaller width is the front yard, MacArthur is the side yard. So if he is to place that carport, he will need to abide by the 5-foot rear yard, unless there's another requirement by, or allowance by building inspections to have a firewall.
Firewall, if I may.
Can I bring my?
Yes, Mr. Gary.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if I may. The IRC, the residential code, tells me on side yard setbacks, I cannot get any closer than 2 foot to a property line.
But the rear side,
On the rear, I can go
okay, with the firewall.
with, yeah, if there's no alley.
Mhm.
If
Can we
there's an
s-
alley, I don't have to have a firewall.
Can we see that picture where the cinder block is? So he cannot be within 2 feet from that.
Going to the back, is there an alley there?
Yes.
Yeah.
The fence is not the rear yard. That's that's on his front.
So is the fence his property, or is this a neighbor's property?
If you want to go to his side.
I think that's his property.
I think it's his property.
Yeah.
This is the front of the
Where he's
house.
putting the carport, that section of fence doesn't appear to be the rear.
The rear.
The
is-
rear's the fence that's 49 feet away from,
That'd be
Exactly.
further south.
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
up against
Okay.
an alley.
And there is an alley there.
So
So
that,
he's
Can we get the
49
aerial view?
He's 49 feet from his rear yard.
Mhm.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you can see
let's-
that drive.
Yeah, you can see the drive
Oh,
and then
that's
the
a-
trees,
Yep.
all the trees, and then the alley.
so that side setback, 2-foot side setback with the firewall, would that be required still, even in this case?
If you're on the side, you wouldn't have to have a firewall, but for a carport, but you can't get closer than 2 foot to the property line on the side, so that's still according to the building code.
But
yeah,
then he's,
MacArthur, that would be technically the side of this
Yeah, that's the
lot.
side you're talking
And so
about.
he's saying
So
per
that
code.
there's a 10-foot easement right there, so he's 10 foot from the property line?
No,
Oh.
property line.
So no, the 10-foot right-of-way starts at the curb, and that's where all the utilities, that Public Works allows to have in that 10-foot. Now, once you pass that 10-foot, that's where the property line is, okay? So the property line is 10 feet from the curb.
So he would basically be 10 feet off the curb, and the front of it would be even with the cinder block fence.
Correct.
Yes.
But for code, technically it needs to be at least 2
Feet
feet
more off the property line.
off the property
If
line.
that's his side yard, yes.
Yep.
Code's very specific about side yard, they call it projections, when you do your side yard
Okay.
setback. 2 feet to the property line is as close as we can get on side yards.
So that would put him at 20 foot, if we was to allow him to go with that.
Yes.
but then he also has,
But you're recommending 17-foot total length.
Yes, and by zoning ordinance, it's a 5-foot side yard setback.
if he,
For that reason.
Ms. Prieto, if he was to move the carport further to the back of a house, I mean, he still has plenty of space that he could put it in the backyard.
Like move it here.
Are you
You're saying
talking,
like
past?
Towards
moving it
Has-
south and
South,
back,
yes, moving it south.
then west.
Yes.
He would have more, if he were to, but he would have to have a access to that unless, he liked a curved access.
But this is where his actual driveway is at, though, isn't it?
Is it a paved driveway currently,
Yes.
It is currently paved, yes.
or concrete?
But then he also has
Looks
a
like there's a
paved.
gate and
There's-
maybe concrete access into the backyard too. Yeah. you
Yeah.
can See that gate right
Yeah, there's a gate there. Any more questions to staff?
No.
No? All right. Thank you, Ms. Prieto. Okay, anybody wants to step forward and speak for or against the variance, please step forward. State your name and address for the record.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Name is Elisandro Ayala. Yeah, so for
Are you the property owner? Can you state your address for the?
I'm their son, representing my parents. So for the property, yes.
Do you live at the house?
I'm sorry?
Do you live there at the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for the record, he lives at that address. Go ahead.
So for the property, yes, we wanted to put it there, on that area specifically for that truck. And my original dimensions, I believe they were like 18 feet by 24. And yeah, they told me that that the setback was, or that the distance, the length of the carport was way too long. It was, but they said that 22 feet would have been okay. So I decided to change it to 22 feet by 18 feet. And then that's whenever they had told me they told me that the right of way was 10 feet from that red line on the curb, and then plus another 10 feet for the setback, which if I had gone that route, I would have ended up having a 12-foot carport, 12 foot by 18 feet, which at that point I don't think it would be very reasonable to have it for a vehicle. Just hoping it gets approved.
Any questions? Yeah. All right,
Well,
thank you, sir.
It's open. Thank you.
I have one more question for staff.
Okay, anybody else that wants to speak for or against the variance? Okay, we're gonna close this section of the meeting to the public. Maria?
Yes, sir.
How many mail-outs went out and how many came back?
So we had 12 notices were sent, 0 were returned, 1 was there an approval, and 0 protests. And I have the approval here. So.
With this, putting a carport there, would it cause any hazards, anything for upcoming traffic?
Yeah, I drove out there and looked at it and did a sight triangle basically. It's far enough from the intersection, it wouldn't cause any issues.
Yeah, I think you got that fence and there's trees there that are already obstructing, some
Yeah.
views.
Trees are a bigger problem than.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to see past the trees, but even,
Yep.
I tried to visualize it even without the trees,
Yeah.
because they are removable, and I didn't see an issue.
Commissioners?
like to have discussion amongst
Yeah,
us,
we're
that's okay.
in this discussion, yeah.
So, for the spirit of complying to code, being with 2 foot from the property line, I'm in favor for that, but then we'll be waivering the 5 foot setback from the property line. Just have, so is that, what do you think about that? Just allowing him to extend it a little bit further up to 2 foot from the property line?
The thing is, it's for that truck. That truck, it would be about, Kyle, 17 feet, 18 feet long.
Oh, yeah, possibly.
At least
Kinda see.
17.
2025, 50, 50, the short bed. I believe it's 6.5 foot bed. Right there in that photo, it should be banked up all the way to as close as comfortable.
So my thing is, I mean, it should be a 17, at least a 17 to 18.
If it was 17, it would be outside the 5 foot though. So
Yeah, but another thing to consider, he does have space in the back. There is a concrete pad in the back. There is already a door. There's space already. He has access to space in the back. If you look at the aerial view, see, there's already a concrete pad there. There is space. He can make it 22 feet if he wants to put it in the back of the house. That's my whole thing. Is like, I mean,
There are other
there's
options.
other options that they can look into versus having to make a ruling about 2 feet, 5 feet, and truck not fitting, maybe it's fitting. So he has a corner lot. He has options.
Agreed.
I agree that would be the case, you know, just depending on what that access really is. Is it a big swinging gate door to where it swings inward and it not allowing you to park? You know, that can cause an
When ZBA is when there's a hardship. Okay, if there's something there that was obstructing that gate, then it's considered hardship. In my personal interpretation, this hardship can be remedied without coming to ZBA.
Agreed.
I mean, maybe there's some other discussions that they could go back with planning and zoning, that what other avenues they can take without us ruling, because I cannot, he has options and the hardship can be remedied with other options versus us having to come in to ZBA.
Agreed.
I mean, that's I spit it up to you.
I agree.
I agree.
I mean, yeah, we can table it so that he could discuss further options with staff. Instead of denying, we can table it, and
If we deny it, he can still come back a different direction and move it over here.
if he didn't, if we deny it, he's locked in for a year, and then he has to go through the whole entire process again. If we table it, he can discuss it with staff, other options that they can have.
I'd like to make a motion to table.
Okay, so there's a motion to table. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Motion carries to table the variance. All right. If there's no other business,
No other business.
do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
There's a motion to adjourn.
I second.
There's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any objections? Motion carries